Okay, she's running. This is our Belarus Granite Ridge Greens tractor. Just delivered last night. Eventually going to need some back wheels because we got some cracks. Front wheels are nice. She's in really nice shape. Alternator, fairly new starter. Solenoid needs to be cleaned up a bit. Main disconnect there. Lower and raise your 3-point hitch. Have to learn the other controls. This will be forward and reverse. No, there's your forward and reverse, and your different settings for the different gear levels. Anybody identify this? Is it just a grass, or is it actually like a wild wheat? It's got a red, as you can see, it's got a red bottom to it. Just picked it out of growing in the field. So anybody know what that is? Or is it just a grass? Could be just a wild grass. Don't know. Fuel box. Lock, and I don't know his name. We just called him Grandpa. Put some new lights on here for me and wired them in. And I believe, where did I turn it on last night? There, yeah. See, hooked it into a switch for me. So I got some farm tractor Belarus headlights. Kind of cool. Took me, like I said, a while to figure out the switches last night. So this is the first farm tractor I've ever owned. This is a Russian-make Belarus that we're going to make use of. And I paid a couple of $200 extra, and I got this double furrow, nice and thick. Cast metal, I guess. Oh, that's steel. That's solid steel, the two of them. Nice cut to it, and hopefully we don't hit a bunch of rocks out in the pasture, because we're up on the Canadian Shield, so you get lots of rocks here. But this is going to be a start to it. I hear someone coming up the road, I guess. And my struck machine, my loader, my MH4800, it isn't down, but it's sticking. I got sticking in the hydraulics, so I don't know when the last time this filter got changed, but when I went over here and I checked, this is where you check your hydraulic fluid right here. I got some grit, not filings, but you know, grit, still metal on the stick, at the bottom of the stick. So I'm going to flush the hydraulic fluid. See, these controls aren't sitting straight. I did alter them a bit so they'd work, but this one's sticking really bad. I've got it to move again, but it's still sticking. I can feel the grit in it when I pull it, so I hope I can get the grit out of the valve guides. Valve train in the hydraulic system, or else I'm going to have to take all the hoses off and flush them all out separately, which isn't going to be fun. But this has only got, I don't know if you can see that or not, I think it's 176 hours, no, 168 I think it is. I'll have to see once. I don't have my glasses on, but I'm sure it's showing up there. It's a good little machine. Moved a lot of snow. Used it on Kinesis Lake for 5 years. They're about 18,000 brand new American. So what's that, about 28 Canadian, 26, 28 Canadian. Plus you gotta buy the bucket. That's for the tractor. I just put it on my machine. Quick disconnect for buckets. This track loader allows 80% of skid steer or bobcat with the right fittings, of course, and it's got extra lines that are wrapped backwards from here right to here with screwed in block ends. So they're Zerk fittings, I'd imagine is what they are. Hydraulic Zerk fittings. I think that's what the manual said. 25 horsepower, dual cam, overhead cam, Kohler engine. That runs really good. And there's your hydraulic pump right there. So I'm gonna have to check all that. I'm gonna go through the whole system. Someone's played with the wiring. I don't like these snap-on connectors. I solder everything, so that'll have to be soldered back up. And a bigger battery. I always like to put the biggest battery I can in a machine. You don't want to be out in the field boosting your machine all the time. But she's 168, I think was the hour, 165, whatever it said there. So that's my struck loader. Magnatrack. 4800s on the hood there. And it'll take a backhoe. It's got a 3-point hitch. It's got live PTO there. 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, I'm not sure. I think it's 1.25 inches shaft right there. I got a seal leak there. You can see the oil down there. But it sat dry. It's never been used. This has never had the PTO hooked up to anything. Take the balance box off and it accepts a loader that I believe can dig down 11 feet. 9 foot one is one of the that's 6,000 American, and 9,000 you go 11 feet. And you have the support arms that come out and stabilize your back end for digging that deep. Might do it, might not, might just sell this off. Someone's interested. Make me an offer. I had it up for 18 Canadian, but not in no hurry to sell it. But I am proud that I have my first tractor. Now I'm going to run it in the garden first and see what this furrow does. I'm sure it'll do what it's supposed to do. And I got a leak in the cylinder right in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There isn't much light here to see that, but right down in here, the seal to the shaft, the plunger, I call it, is leaking hydraulic fluid out, so that'll have to come off and go in and be rebuilt. But other than that, tractor's in really nice shape. Apparently one of the, I don't know if it was a Toronto make-believe, I was told an NHL player used to own this for his hobby farm, and it sat for 15 years in storage and it didn't run, and grandpa took it, and I guess he's a tanker or maybe a diesel mechanic. I don't really know, but you got to know something when you're working on these things, and it runs quite nicely. I'm not going to start it up. It needs a new battery. I got the charger on it, as you can see, but I think the battery sat all winter, so we're going to have to get another battery, I guess. See what we got in the shop. Anyways, that's our Belarus. I'm estimating it's a 60s model. I'll have to look it up. I wonder if Ryan mentioned earlier when he looked, it had the horsepower on it. Where did he see that? I don't know where he's seen that. Oh, down there. There's the Russian emblem. Maybe we can figure that out later. Serial number and all. Cool. Anyways, that's my Belarus. Granite Ridge Greens. Now has a small farm tractor of the vintage variety. And we're going to give her a shot into our retirement and see where we go from there. Everyone have a good one. Be nice to each other, okay? Be nice to each other and help each other, and be truthful. The truth doesn't hurt at all. Have a good one, folks. Catch us all later. Long day, time to go in and kick the feet up for a little while and see how my 600 germinating seeds on the kitchen table are doing. Bye for now.